Tonight's story recreates the investigation into the murder of a 19-year-old student. You may remember her name, Rachel McLean. The extraordinary thing about this case is that it was virtually solved without the one ingredient that is normally the centre of any murder investigation, the body. It was carried out in the full glare of national publicity, but that can be a double-edged sword. Fortunately, the officer in charge, right from the start, had a hunch about how to exploit to the full this emotionally charged atmosphere.
You may turn over your paper and begin.
That was good. Huh? I won't be a moment, sir.
Sorry, sir.
Carry on.
I'm worried about her, sir. She was reported missing on Saturday by her tutor after she didn't show up for an exam. But when we checked with her family and flatmates, it turns out no one has seen or heard from her since last Monday.
And what do the parents say?
They can't understand it. They say they never go a whole week without speaking to her.
Friends? Boyfriends?
She has a boyfriend. He was the last one to see her. But there doesn't seem to be any reason why she'd just disappear like this without telling anyone. I'll keep you up to date, sir, but I thought you ought to know.
Yes. Okay, Sergeant.
Sorry to hold you up, sir.
No problem.
The words seemed to stick in Bound's mind. So much so that he took the unusual step of asking for the missing persons file on Rachel McLean. Unusual because under normal circumstances, he wouldn't have been notified of the case for possibly another week. As Bound read through the witness statements already taken from Rachel's friends and flatmates, the case appeared on the face of it baffling. Rachel was a second-year English and Classics student at St Hilda's College, Oxford. She kept in regular contact with her family in Blackpool and was well ahead with her studies.
Who's she? That's Rachel. It's her partner.
Hi, I'm a friend of Max. Happy birthday.
Thanks.
I'm John.
Hi, John.
Never seen you looking so lovely as you did tonight. I've never seen you shine so bright. Never seen so many.
Oh, that's good. I like that one. Ah, it's very good. Oh, what's the matter?
Did you hear that?
What?
Scratching sounds. I'm convinced we've got rats in this place. Will you have a look round for me?
Oh, don't worry, I'll save you. Well then, who's a little scaredy cat, eh? I'll show you something. Just make this head.
Will I marry him? Will I get engaged to him? Or will I let it roll over me without intercession, simply because I can't be bothered to make any effort to stop it? No man can love a strong woman without wanting to weaken her.
I'm sorry, John, she's still not back.
What time did she go out?
About half an hour ago.
Who did she go out with?
I don't know, John, she didn't say. John?
What was she wearing?
I'm sorry, still no news.
My dearest, lovely Rachel, thank you for such a wonderful weekend. Please excuse the handwriting as I am now sadly winging my way away from your smiling face. I love you, Rachel. Fancy seeing that friend of yours at the station. At least you didn't have to get a bus home. He seemed really cool.
Tanner?
Yeah.
It's Thames Valley CRD, just a routine call, sir. Can we just go through again the last time you saw her?
Okay. She went back to Oxford on the Saturday after spending Easter with her parents. And I met up with her at her place on Saturday afternoon, and we spent the weekend together.
How did she seem to you, John? Were there any problems?
No. My relationship with Rachel was as loving as it's ever been. In fact, we both said how much we loved each other.
And you went home on the Monday evening?
Yeah, that's right. Rachel came with me to Oxford Station to see me off. We went there by bus and got there about 5. They cut one train out, so in the end I got the 6:20. I've got my ticket somewhere. Anyway, while we were waiting, that's when she met her friend.
Yes. Tell us about him.
Well, he was about my age. His hair was quite long, bit like mine. I hadn't met him before, but I'm sure he and Rachel knew each other pretty well.
So you'd recognise him if you saw him again?
Sure.
Sorry, sir. Right. We searched the house twice, and all we have found is the leather jacket and boots Tanner says Rachel was wearing when she went to the station with him. So, what does that tell us?
She got back to the house after she met the friend at the station.
Possibly.
Or that she never left the house in the first place.
Much more likely.
You think Tanner's killed her, don't you?
I do. Just get that feeling. But I can't work out what he has done with the body. Now, we have torn that bloody house apart, and if it was still in there now, what, 9 days after she was last seen alive, you'd know about it. Not to put too fine a point on it, you'd be smelling it as soon as you walked in. Now, he hasn't got a car, so what has he done with her?
How do you want us to play it?
I want us to go out of our way to make him think he's in the clear.
T, who looks a bit like Rachel. Now, we've dressed her in Rachel's clothes, and we'd like the two of you, with your guidance, to reenact what actually happened. See, maybe, just maybe, someone saw Rachel after she left you at the station. What do you say?
Sure.
Camera, please.
That's right. Hey, John, an interview, John. Okay. Thank you.
And, well, it would be Rachel if Rachel was here, you know.
What do you think happened to Rachel, John?
John, there's someone I'd like you to meet. This is David. He's a local student. He's helping us out today. And what do you think? Does he look like the man you saw that night?
Yeah, it's a very good likeness.
Good. Well, what I'd like you to do now is to take us through, step by step, what happened in the cafe. Tell us where people were, what they said.
Okay. Well, I was over here. Rachel was opposite. Yeah, that's right.
What happens next?
Well, that's when a friend turned up, and he came in from over there. Over there.
Yeah?
Yeah, that's it. Now, you see her, and then you walk over to her. Yeah, that's it, that's it. And now you tap her on the shoulder, and now start talking to her. Yeah, that's it. Well, then, he was chatting to her, and then we left the cafe together, and I got my train, and that's the last time I saw her.
And that's how it happened, like that?
Yeah.
Okay, John. That's great. Terrific. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, if you'd like to take your pictures now.
John, one more.
John, give me one photo. Thank you. Your lady with you, John. John. Okay, well, John.
Yeah, John, this way, please. To me. What's your own theory about it, John? Have you got some ideas?
Mr. Tanner will answer your questions in a moment, but I would ask you to remember it's his girlfriend. He's suffering too, so please bear that in mind.
John, do you think Rachel's still alive?
In my heart of hearts, I'd like to think so.
I would like to remind anyone who's watching to contact us with any information they have with regards to this case.
An 8-year-old boy who saved his...
Incident room.
Incident room.
I saw it on the television. Yes. But I don't know what he was talking about, saying he was with a girlfriend. I always get on the same bus every day at around 5 o'clock. So you get to know the regulars. That's why I noticed him. He was sitting there on his own. I'd never seen him before. I remember he was wearing these strange boots, and they had a funny bit of cloth tied round one of them. Really scruffy they were.
I sat next to him on a bench at the station. There wasn't any girl with him. He was on his own.
About what time was this?
Must have been about 5:20. He was writing a letter. I suppose I was being a bit nosy, but I had a look at what he was writing. I couldn't see too much, but it was written in black. Very small writing. And there were 4 words at the top of the page.
My dearest, lovely Rachel.
No one saw him with Rachel that evening. He got him, sir.
No, we haven't. Okay, so they didn't see him with her. But you could always stretch it. She was in the toilet when they saw him. She was bending down on the bus. I don't know. It's not watertight.
What about the letter? He says he wrote it in the train on the way home, but we've got someone who saw him writing it in the station.
Well, he could have finished it off on the train. No, we still have no proof that he's lied to us about his version of events. And until we do find some, we leave Tanner alone.
Attention please, driver Bachelier, will you bring 123 to the garage office please? 123 to the garage office.
Well, I'm sorry. None of the houses in this street has a basement or a cellar.
Could there be a smaller space under a house? Maybe not a cellar, just a couple of feet?
Well, I don't know. Sometimes the ground the house is built on demands underpinning. Well, that would give you a few feet. But it's pretty unusual round here.
Well, how can you tell?
Well, unless you know what you're looking for, you'd never spot it. I could perhaps have a look for you, if it's urgent.
I think I found what you're looking for. Now, there's no way the driver would remember. I mean, you're asking for one face out of thousands in a week. But the computer never lies. Now, what did you say? Monday, April the 15th?
Yes, he gave us his ticket.
Well, his ticket confirms that he got on at Magdalen Road at 4:45 p.m. and his destination was Oxford Station. But if we look at the computer printout for that time of day... yes. He was the only one who bought a ticket to the station. No one else got on at that stop at that time and went to the station. I mean, it's all here in black and white.
This house is underpinned. I found an air brick on both sides, and there's probably something like an 18-inch to 2-foot cavity underneath it. Is that any use?
John?
I can't buy another round, I'm skinned.
Well done. Well done. We found her.
John Tanner. Nottinghamshire Police. Would you come with us, please?
All okay?
Oh, what's the matter?
Did you hear that?
What?
Scratching sounds. I'm convinced we've got rats in this place. Oh, will you have a look round for me?
Don't worry, I'll save you.
You couldn't foresee a future without her, could you? She was a lovely girl with a lovely family. To do them justice now, tell them why in God's name you did this. I spoke to them last night and told them their daughter was dead. That was an experience I never want to go through again. They'll never recover, John. At least tell them why.
John Tanner pleaded not guilty to the murder of Rachel McLean. He claimed in court that it was manslaughter, not murder. But at the Birmingham Crown Court on December the 5th, 1991, a jury found him guilty of murder, and he was sentenced to life imprisonment. Tanner claimed that he'd killed Rachel when she told him that she'd been unfaithful to him. But Detective Superintendent John Bound remains convinced that despite Tanner's conviction, some questions remain unanswered. Tanner's version, for example, of how he killed Rachel with his bare hands doesn't tally with the pathologist's finding that a ligature was applied to her neck. 2 young lives now lay ruined, and the truth is we shall probably never know exactly what happened on that dreadful night. Good evening.